Hello, good morning everyone and welcome to Alien Wave Cafe. This is the weekly market review. It is Saturday morning. Let's take a look at the markets, and this is the second week of pretty strong action in the equities. After last week we found a low and we closed pretty strongly. The bears weren't really able to come back and sell this into this fib retracements, into the moving averages, so we were able to stage some decent closes, which continues to become and be encouraging for further upside in the market. We'll take a look at the wave counts here shortly. They do suggest that we could be in some kind of a fifth wave coming up and then a bit more retracement. But bottom line is that the correction that we've had, it did not extend, and instead it moved higher, and it found support where it was kind of supposed to find it, near the moving averages. So you can look in here and see the nice, pretty strong move. It did not close a new all-time high yet, but I think it's probably going there by the look of this chart pattern. The breadth has been improving also, so things look fairly decent. The S&P has staged a new all-time closing high here on the weeklies, coming up on decent volume. You can see that the relative strength never really went below 50 on the weekly, which is extremely important. It did manage to kind of sell off below the 50-day in here and got close to this 200-day, but last week was the signal that it was time to kind of press the upside, and here we are closing up. Nasdaq Composite, it might not seem like it, but it is a new weekly closing high in here, because if you look back, this is the candle that closed at the highest level prior to that, and then this one in here we have a higher close. The volume, it's pretty good, a bit higher than average. RSI, again, just staying above 50, just a nice trending environment, nothing wrong with the market at the moment. Dow Jones Industrial, had a pretty deep sell-off. It came with a huge bullish engulfing last week. We managed to get back above that 10-week average, and again we're seem to be heading higher. If you start to fail here and see again a bearish engulfing, that's a problem. We'll see how we go next week, because we're going to watch for certain divergences between these different markets, right? I know we all kind of trade individual stocks, sometimes the indices, and if you notice that, let's say, the S&P moves higher but the Nasdaq fails to do so, or the Dow Jones fails, I wouldn't necessarily look at IWM, because that's got its own problems. But then we can start to judge a little bit, hey, play more defense in case we see any divergences between them. But bottom line, if the indices are moving higher, the stocks, and hopefully you can pick the right stocks that are kind of moving higher, right? Because there are plenty of stocks that won't. So you also got to hunt for the proper stocks. But if the indices are moving higher, your stock should do good as well. So Dow Jones here looks fine. IWM, I was expecting a bit more upside action after the strong buy of next week, but we're still struggling in here. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I still think that this is an important signal. We'll see what happens. Even the RSI wasn't really able to get back below, so the trend is not really interrupted. Bitcoin does nothing wrong, looks pretty good. Even higher volume this week, it seems like it. Again, RSI above 50, just nice trending. Briefly broke below that 10-week moving average, but it's looking fine. I think, the direction continues to be towards that 130, maybe even 150 targets. We'll take a look at the wave count shortly. But it's, in terms of a weekly candle structure, I don't see anything, wrong with this picture and with this pattern in here. So that looks good to me. And then the dollar sold off a little bit with yields coming lower. We'll probably see some weakness. I know we have a big week coming up. We have earnings from these mega caps, and then we also have the Fed. So a little bit of volatility as we're trying to wrap up January, but that's what's new in the market, right? That's the fun part. And then you have gold, again, staging a new all-time high, closing here on the weekly. looking pretty good, and the trend here continues. I think silver looks even better. So it's a bit underperforming, but I think there is some potential there too. And then okay, we're back here. So let's take a look at the wave counts and the S&P. It's just uptrending in a nice channel, following the wave counts. We're still in a pretty large third wave. That's what I'm saying. I think this might have been a fourth wave, this quick drop in here. This sell-off, it's still a bit ugly, but I would give it another chance to maybe create a wave 5 in here. Look for equality between this wave 5 and this wave 1, and then maybe, we're going to pull back in a little bit of a 4, do another 5 as we're moving into 2025 in the summer, and then maybe begin, some kind of a second wave. I wouldn't say that would be as big as this guy here, but, that would be kind of my preferred interpretation, right? Not to get too crazy bullish here. We could be maybe in the final stages, the more choppy stages of this advance in the S&P. Same for the NASDAQ composite in here. We're kind of following the same structure, looking for the top of this wave 1 in red. I still think there's further to go. This wave 4 pulled beautifully into the 38.2. We might get a short wave 5, then another 4 in here, and then push again. Look at the structure back here. It takes a bit of time for the markets to top and to create, just look at the sequence in here also, right? Look how much it just went up, and then, and I don't see anything. They don't have to match, but what I'm saying is, there could be a lot of that happening in here before we, you can maybe top, go up again, and then, so I don't know. I think there is further strength coming up in the markets, especially by the way of some of the individual stocks that are acting. That's just my 2 cents. Okay, so that's NASDAQ composite. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, which, the picture here is, I've had it labeled, with this wave 1 here, but I think it was too, you can't do that degree so early. So I wanted to, leave this degree to be up here and then create the subdivisions based on that. And, you can do 1, 2, 1, 2. Does this look like a 3 wave? So we consider that a flat in a 3, 3, 5. This kind of matches the other indexes where you would get, where this pullback was a 4, you're getting into a 5, another 4, another 5, and then eventually a top of the wave 1. And then IWM, that continues to be pretty messy. The Russell here, it's kind of still the best I have for a 61.8 pullback in this wave 2, but I need to see, some serious strength, and this index doesn't seem that it's that interested to do that yet. So we'll go with this for the moment. All right, let me take a look at Bitcoin. I'm just going to save this up, and then we'll go to the other map. Nothing really changed in Bitcoin. It's just still hovering. It held nice support. Targets remain here at about 129, 171 for a shorter wave 5, where this wave 5 is basically a 61.8% of distance travel wave 1s through 3, so from this low to this high, and then you take 61.8 of that from the low of the wave 4, you project it up, and that gives you that target. Then you have a 5v1, which is up here, and if you do 161.8 of that, it's about 151. The 100% was already hit at about 98,603. So we surpassed that target of wave 5 versus wave 1. But since wave 3 is not that extended this wave 3 traveled about 161.8 multiple of this wave 1, so just a normal standard wave 3 strength. And wave 5 did not stop at about 100%, and it obviously overtook the 38.2, which is another standard target when wave 3 is a normal wave. That was about 89, and then I'm looking at the next higher target, which is 61.8, so at about 129, 171. But this could also extend and, eventually get up there towards 250. We'll see once we get to these levels, when we do, and if we do, how the market reacts, how it behaves, and then we'll just kind of take it day by day. But nothing really wrong in Bitcoin here. Looks fairly healthy, and that's we're long. So, and I'll continue to stay long with it until it starts doing the wrong things. Until then, it's totally fine. Oh, I also wanted to show you a little bit of the XRP and kind of what's happening here with it. I still think there is one more push to go. This does look like an interesting triangle in here. So after you've had that large wave 3 advance, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5. Then you got a nice triangle here in a wave 4. And then you begin another rally. 1, 2. That's a nice wave 3. And, this is always a struggle because, you don't know exactly how these waves form. But, you could also have this, a short, let's say a fourth wave, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5. So you see, if I decompose this and I go to an impulse there, I put this wave 1 right there, then the wave 2, wave 3 up at the top, and wave 4 is in a triangle. It's not, okay, it's big, but it's not, let's say, totally inappropriate with this wave 2. So you can have 4, 5, then another 4 and another 5, or you could just eliminate this and say, fine, maybe, I'm wrong on that subdivision. This is enough. And then this wave 5 will just do one more push and then complete a wave 5. And again, the targets here are, you see, 341, which was already hit, a bit concerning on that. Let me see if I can grab this. You see let me just get rid of these two, but you see the target was right there. For 100% of this wave 5, because this is what's measuring, this wave 5 purple versus this wave 1. So, from that aspect, you could say that, yeah, the target was hit, and maybe, this was already a failed, not a failed, but a truncated wave 5, like right there, and you could be done, with this wave 5 already. And you can start to pull back. For me, it does look like, we would want to do one more push. And this wave 4, it's still a bit in progress. So, the next target would be, kind of up there at about, 38.2, 430, to do one more push, but it could be a bit high. So anyway, I think we're a bit extended here, and I don't know how much more juice really XRP has, but I just want to kind of give you my thoughts and kind of how I'm looking at this. And I did talk about this previously, and as a target, and that's what I would take, profits in XRP, and I've done so, and I'm still leaving another piece here, for see if I can, squeeze, let's say, maybe another $1 out of it is possible, to see if it stages this wave 5, however long it wants to go. We'll see how it behaves. So just giving you my thoughts on XRP as well, not just on Bitcoin. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye-bye.